afternoon, Planet Earth gape-tv. And now for the show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Planet Earth.
Good afternoon,
Earth.
Yeah, today we are so excited. We have a special guest, Melanie Baldonado.
Hi! Oh my God, I love you guys. You have no idea how much I love you guys. I know I tell you, but I really, really mean it. It's not like the California, Los Angeles, love you, bye. I really, really love you.
Same. I know it's
love you too.
kind of like you're a forever friend. I feel like we'll always be connected, and then it's so cool that we're all kind of different coasts, but we all know each other, which is the beauty of comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about today, Amy? I was thinking about the first time that I really bonded with you. Can we share, when do you think in your memory is the first time that you and I bonded?
We bonded prior. So Dom, me and this other comedian, Josh Meyerowitz, very funny. We had a podcast called Just Wanted to Say Hi. And but anyway, I know I bonded with you prior, but the moment you did the podcast, I was like, I want to hang out with Melanie more.
The podcast was part of it, but there was this one night, it was New Year's Eve at the Comedy Store party, but Josh was at the Comedy Store at the time. And he sent me a text. It was like, hey, I'm hanging with Amy at the Comedy Store. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. Why not, right? It's the store, and Amy's there, and she's cool. And we ended up dancing throughout the night during her shift breaks. She would deliver her drinks, and then she would come back, and we just danced. And it was so fun. I'm just gonna put my glasses back. But it was so fun. I had such a good time, and I was like, this is the dopest chick in the entire world.
God, yes. And I'm always looking for someone to just dance with. So many people are embarrassed, and I'm just I like to dance. It feels awesome. And so it was so cool. Me and you, I remember being up in the belly room and just I'm
not there are Latinas that can dance, and they're Italian. Okay, I dance a 20% Latina, and then the rest is complete white girl.
The four-step salsa.
I make it, and Amy can dance.
Oh no,
I didn't even matter. We were just it was.
I know. I probably changed people's opinion of me for the worst after that night. When you see someone just cut and loose, you're like, wow, I cannot look at you the same. That probably happened. Comedians, I totally respect. I remember just being pretty drunk, and cool comedians I respect just hanging out, laying low. And I honestly was just all about just feeling good and just dancing. Probably because I don't do it at all. I've been, since I was a kid, a kid, literally my whole teenhood, every weekend, work. I never got to go clubbing. Maybe 2 times in my life, I got to go clubbing. So if there's a chance to dance, it's release. I'm please, I just need to dance out what I didn't get to dance out when I should have been dancing it out.
You know what I found in terms of clubbing? First, I would use my aunt's fake ID to get into clubs in Hollywood. Not often, but often enough. Just after the first 3 times, I remember just kind of feeling this is fun, but there's a vulnerability, because at the time, guys would just kind of reach out and grab whatever they wanted in a dark club. And so when I went to college, as soon as I turned 21, I ended up bartending. And I loved bartending because part of it, or even cocktailing, because one, if anybody reaches out to touch a cocktailer, the bouncers throw them out. So it was you could be a part of the environment and having fun, but you're making money at the same time. And once I bartended, I was like, oh, thank God, because nobody's reaching around the bar to grab the bartender. You are out. You waited and So true. I loved bartending because I was making money. I had this bar between me, but also I got to like just kind of like rock out a little bit behind the bar and have a good time. And it's the only job that if something happened like a pandemic, which, you know, I couldn't do comedy and someone was like, hey, would you come and bartend? I would go back. That's the only job I would go back to willingly and love it. Besides, I mean, I teach special needs kids during the day and it's great. However, there is something when you get a normal 10 to 7, 9 to 5 job and you see the taxes that come out and what you're paying. And when you find out that you had been making the same amount or more bartending, it's like the rudest, saddest awakening. It's just like, oh my God, I went to college and got all this debt, and this whole entire time I was making the same amount, having fun, bartending, and I got like 2 weeks worth of training that I did before. It was just like the sickest, saddest feeling that I had. But you know, it's just, I don't shame anybody who's like, I bartended my whole life. You know, I didn't go to college. I'm like, you're so smart.
Right.
No,
I think it's
always. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say when I bartended, I remember thinking, oh shit, all right, I made a lot, like, and it was just like 200. Then my friend, she was a bartender, and I was like telling her, like, I didn't know you could make 200 in one night. She goes, what? She goes, that's cute. I make like 500 or 600, and I realized, like, you know, it's me, like I don't know, I guess the clientele, like the people that tipped me were like more like older women. I'd always have like I'd be extra talky to them, you know, because I knew they would like throw me an extra 5 versus like a younger attractive girl. Like I don't know if it works the same way for a guy, but
You know,
huh?
This joke is gonna get me canceled, by the way.
Wow.
If you're a girl with like big boobs, oh, those tips are
Right. Yeah,
know what?
guys are coming around throwing 20s.
Let me tell you, when I worked on Sunset Boulevard, West Hollywood, I would do experiments, okay? So I would wear my glasses, no makeup, and like my hair messy. And then I would do it like makeup, you know, I was cute, like 21 with my, you know, do all my makeup, contacts, straighten my hair, put it, and let me tell you, I made more money when I looked like a dork. Like I had the glasses, because let me tell you, the female who went out on a date and they were with their boyfriend, they would side eye me. They'd be like this. They'd be like, and their boyfriends would love me. Like they'd be like, yeah, da. And so it was a weird thing to handle, but I think it's an energy thing. Like once you've got to, like, I don't know. I think when you're young, you don't know how to harness your energy and your boundaries for people. Like I would just have conversations with every table. I would be, I knew everything about these tables. And it's like, now that I'm older, no boundaries. I do not need to know what their grandma's name was. You know what I mean? Like do your job in and out. And I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard industry, the restaurant industry, period. That's cool that you guys were able. I always want to be a bartender, but I would only get cocktail waitress, which is fine. It's not the same. It's like you can't, a bartender, you could tell someone to F off, but a cocktail waitress, you can just roll your eyes. That's all you can do.
And it is true when you're cocktailing, if someone acts out of hand, it's like you have to take into consideration that it's like their whole, like it's almost like you have to pick your battles. You know, it's like, and then sometimes as a cocktailer, if it's really, really crowded and somebody reaches out and grabs you, like you don't know who it was.
Oh, yeah. I got so much harassment when I worked the graveyard shift. I had people telling me things that if I cursed them off, the managers would fire me. It was so twisted. It's weird how 2011 and 12 is totally different today. But also, I didn't have that I had backup from one manager. Anybody knows Guy at Mel's Drive-In, best manager ever. But then there was another manager. He was very uncomfortable controlling. He would hover. He would get behind me and breathe down my neck and be like, Amy, I got this. Go do that. And it was really uncomfortable. I had a customer tell me one time, yo, are you okay? I saw how he talked to you. And I was like, I'm not really okay, but thank you for noticing that because it validated. But I had this one customer, he would go, oh, what do you do while you're here? I go, oh, I'm a comedian, maybe actor, whatever I can do in the entertainment field. And he goes, do you want the red carpet or the stained carpet? I was like, what is this stained carpet? I was like, give me hardwood floors, man. Fuck carpet. I hate carpet. Allergies. Worst. And allergies person's worst nightmare is carpet.
Weird. The things that people come up with that are like, I used to have a boss. He used to tell me, I want to make your lips my neighbors.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Like, I know what you're talking about. It's not a very, very personal body part, because they're your lips. Everybody has lips,
Right.
It's like, which lips? If we're like, like, I don't mean to be crass or anything, but it's like, this is either like, what does this mean?
Right. Is there a co-op you need to apply to for the lips? Like,
and you really want to ask, like, well, what exactly are you talking about? Because what if they're like, oh, well, then you invited it, right? It's just like so awful. You're just like, okay, thanks, gotta go.
right. Yes.
That's gonna be my new pickup line, though. That is, I want to make your lips my neighbors.
Gentlemen, write that down.
What are you gonna do? Knock on their lips?
Hello? You would say my neighbors. So it sounded even like more like I had to decode.
These lips don't. You better. These lips live up in the hills.
Oh my God!
Pull that one.
That's great.
Yeah, that was the time where I was like, oh, like this, like Amy. I want Amy in my life forever. When we danced on New Year's Eve, that was
yes.
Oh
my God.
I actually just got sexually harassed at my last show, but luckily I had a friend there to kind of stop it. The girl was with a friend, but it was this drunk girl. It was her birthday. And, I don't know. I feel like as a host, you got to be friendly with everybody. Afterwards, they feel like you're still going to be like, they could just come up to you and touch you. And, yeah, so she's like, keep squeezing my boob, like, like legit squeezing it. And her friend's like, stop. She's like, no, come on, let's take a picture. Here, give me a kiss. And she legit was holding the back of my
like
head.
The Naked Cowboy?
What?
They're like, they treated you like the Naked Cowboy.
Right. I should have been like, hey, the Naked Cowboy, go check him out. But no,
That
I was like,
guy gets sexually harassed so much. Every
he's
picture,
asking for
the
it.
ladies are with their hands on his nipples and stuff.
He's asking for it. I mean,
on like Times Square in chaps or something.
Yeah.
So is this
the Naked Cowboy just goes out in like Speedos and a guitar, and people take pictures with him. Have you ever seen him?
I've never
seen all about it. Yeah, he's out there. There's a girl too, a naked grandma cowgirl. You've seen her, right, or whatever she is.
Totally copied him. She couldn't have been original, like the naked Tin Man or something. I don't know.
Oh my God, so funny.
Yeah. Anyway, she just glossed over it. Yeah, well, she's like 75 years old. Maybe she started it.
Awesome. Yo, she's my hero.
I love it. I was telling Dom that there's a movie called Studio 54. Have you ever seen this movie? Do you remember, Dom? I'm telling you this awful story about like this is how. Okay, so I hardly drink. Like I'm very, very. But there's a scene in this movie called Studio 54, and I believe it's based on a true story. The iconic club in New York where like Princess
yeah. I think Drew Barrymore would hang out there at like 12 years old.
Yeah, like so there was this lady, this 80-year-old lady that would come in and dance all night. And like she would blow just like everybody else. But one night she had a heart attack on the floor. But in the movie, she's like dancing away, and she's like she's a little actress that does the rap in like the hip hop, the hip in the Addams Family.
Betty White?
No, it's a different one. I love how Tom all the old ladies are Betty White to
right.
But she dies on the floor, and when I saw that scene, I know, see how Amy's response is like, that's so sad. My response is like, that's the way to go.
That's true.
That's the way to go, right?
Yes.
So it's like, if, like once Benji's grown and, like I will definitely be the 80-year-old chick in the club. And I won't be the 40-year-old chick going to the club. I won't be the 50-year-old chick. I won't be the 60-year-old chick. I won't be the 7-year-old chick. But once I turn 80,
90, push it 10 more years.
Yeah, like I'm using my, like I don't need my ID. I'm walking to the front. I'm like, kid, I've earned this. Whoever the bouncer is named Kevin. They're always named Kevin.
Kevin, yeah.
Kevin, there's always a bouncer named Kevin. Like, where's Kevin? There's always a bouncer named Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
that's awesome.
Crazy reckless. So yeah, Dom.
So
isn't it crazy how like I love how close you and Dom are, and how when I went to New York again, I was like, no way, you know Dom too, because like it was just like, it's so weird how intertwined this was.
Is so true. I'm
all the different little cliques in LA comedy and New York comedy. How like you are so I'm just like, so beyond happy that you and Dom are so close, and like how much I love you and how much I love Dom. How it just kind of like almost like it was meant that we would do just something like this.
I know. I think we could all live in a house together and just get along. There wouldn't be no like passive aggressive. There wouldn't be any conflict. It'd be like just smooth sailing. Like,
oh my God, I love it.
It's pretty amazing because out of all the scenes in LA and out of all the scenes, the comedy scenes in New York, us three just connected different times, and it was like, oh, you guys know each other, but I think, remember Mel, when you came into New York and we did a mic at the Stand, and then I believe Dominic, is that where you guys met, or where did Melanie and Dom meet?
I think we met at an early mic over by the next door to the old pit on 29th and 7th, the loft pit. Remember that mic that used to be next door there? There was like a mic at like 2:00, I think. Is that the one?
Yeah. And
yeah, I think it was.
What year are we in now? We're in 2020. So was it in like 2013 or 2012?
Maybe 2013, I want to say.
Wow,
we're in 2020. It was either that or it was an earlier Stand open mic. It was an early mic, but I can't remember where it was at. Man, remember those early mics, man? I miss comedy so much.
5 people.
Yes, except some mics got packed, like the Stand. I liked the Stand Sunday early mic back in the day.
Yeah.
This was a weekday mic, because I thought that Dom was like in high school. I thought he was a senior in high school and he was ditching. He looks young as it is, but he also has young energy. And so I was like, oh my God, this kid, but he had it. I was like, this kid is so good.
Oh, you're making me blush. He's having a good night.
He's like 25. I don't know how old he was.
Yeah. I moved here when I was 26, or I just turned 27, I think. 26, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was teaching school. So
my life didn't start till I moved here. I feel like.
You what?
I feel like life for me didn't even start till I moved to New York at 26,
Yeah. I feel like my brain didn't even connect till like 2 years ago. Like who I am as a person, I look back and I'm like, there were elements of me, but also I was just so high with experience, like not even, drugs, but I was just so excited every moment. But I think it was panic as well. Like I kind of just blacked out with panic, but excitement. It's kind of the same emotion, almost, panic and excitement, but it's the opposite end of the thing. So I would just be like in LA, I was just so happy to be waitressing at the Comedy Store. And I, even waitressing graveyard shifts, celebrities would come in. Man, it's anyway.
It still hasn't clicked for me. Like I'm still trying to figure out I guess like I would say like God's purpose. Definitely. I knew the moment that I got on stage, which the first time ever in my life with something that I wrote was at the Comedy Store, which was zany and dumb. But Like I knew from that moment, like, this is what I meant to do. Like just first laugh that I got, I was like, I have to, this is it.
Yeah.
So especially with what's happening with the pandemic, it kind of feels like, okay, this is very strange because, you know, for more than 10 years, I've been working towards this and I have notebooks upon notebooks. And then it just feels like, it feels like there's just a black hole almost.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't have the ability to even like reach out or to make a show poster, or, you know, to reach out for spots, to make a show poster, to get messages on your Facebook or, you know, or on your phone, be like, hey, I have a show going on, or like, you know, are you available on these days? It feels like
There's nowhere to channel our energy but TikTok.
No, I know. And you know what's great though is that TikTok is such a great place for creatives.
Yeah.
And it's so underused. Like Amy, I like what Amy does. Amy will do like a talking to her aunt or like talking to somebody and then like going back to herself. And I really like those.
Thank you.
There are some, I find those really entertaining. And then I find that there are some people that just simply talk to the camera, and those people have millions and millions of followers. But it's not as fun to me to watch.
It's so weird. I'll like write out stuff and then I see this lady like in a bra smoking a cigarette. Like, I don't know about you, but forget 2020. And then that has 100 million likes. And I'm just like, I thought about a setup and a punch with a reveal. And you know, sat down and wrote, and that got 19 likes. But this lady in a bra with a cigarette, not even a character. It's not even someone who's like, let me develop a character and, you know, be a persona. It's a legit lady in a bra smoking a cigarette, just ranting. And I'm like, wow, how does that happen?
What frustrates me a little bit too is that people got like kind of like TikTok famous off of just lip syncing comedians. And even though it would say like on the bottom, like, you know, who the comedian is, like, okay, Kathleen Madigan is one of my favorite comedians. I think she's hilarious. And when they were talking about the Postal Service and not funding the Postal Service, she had this bit from years ago about how she thinks it's amazing that you could send a letter to Alaska for like 24 cents, like that, you know. So she talks about,
that's a great premise though.
And I mean, it's so funny though, and she nails it. But there's part of it like, you should visually be seeing a split between Kathleen Madigan doing it and the person, not just the person doing it, because
it's so weird.
As the actor, she needs to be identified as the writer visually and audibly. And I just, as a comedian and as a writer and as somebody who knows what it probably took to get that from the paper to the special, just to barely give her credit on this little stream is very frustrating to me when you can splice a video on TikTok. And what is it called when you do that? It's called
I think it's splice.
Is it splice? What is it called?
Stitching.
Stitch.
I've seen people that don't even mention the comic's name. And it's like, oh man, come on, you gotta mention the comic's name.
Oh, for
people
sure.
Be like, this is a great joke, man. Like they lip sync it, they're in their kitchen and they say it. And people be like, man, you're so funny.
I know. Yeah, like I'll be doing stuff I wrote, and then there's people, no writing, they literally steal the voice of a comedian and going,
yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I wish I thought about being that terrible of an artist.
And the thing is, you have the ability on TikTok to type anything you want. Like I will type better with sound because I'll stitch music with my videos with my son.
Yeah.
And I time it so that certain words go with like if I fall or he falls or, you know, something happens, and the words of the song goes with the action that happens. So, but you can put like, this is like funny comedian Kathleen Madigan, like, you know, credit goes to Kathleen Madigan. And people don't do it. And I find that a little bit frustrating about TikTok. But also it's so underused for the many things that you can do with it. like creatively as an artist. I don't know why more artists aren't trending on TikTok. Like it's when I first was on though, I remember seeing like it was just like young boys and girls dancing. I'm gonna say boys and girls because they looked like they were 14 and 15 and I didn't put them down at all. But to me, I just felt like if I want to learn how to dance, I'll just go do a YouTube tutorial and I'll learn the dance move. I didn't have the interest in TikTok. And then Sarah Cooper was doing drug videos, and then she like took, you know, like Twitter, she took off and she was really funny and brilliant. I thought that everything was great. And so I went into TikTok and I started to play with it. And I was like, this is ridiculously underused. For all the stickers that you can put on, for the special effects, for everything that you can do with TikTok, it's
especially the green screen, because like for my YouTube videos, like getting out a green screen is so annoying. It's this like heavy metal pole I got to set up. Then I got the clamps. Then you got to iron out the green screen background. And then you got to key when you edit it, like do something to get rid of. It's a lot of work, but with TikTok, you can just do it. Like, why isn't it that easy with all cameras? If TikTok can do it.
It's getting so much better. Hey, by the way, quick shout out to Sarah Cooper. She's the homie. She had me on shows before, and she's cool as hell. Like, to talk about a hard worker, I even hit her up every now and then, like, damn, like, because I see how much she produces, and it's like, yo, you're a hustler. Like, she's got books out. Y'all gotta check her stuff out.
I love her Netflix special. It's so creative and inventive how they developed. They stayed true to what makes her great, but yet she was able to expand her wings a little bit.
And a lot of her stuff was starting, I was going to say the same way we were fighting with, like, before TikTok. She was jumping on, like, Instagram before we had the green screens and stuff like that. But I know she blew up a lot more on TikTok. But that's my
Instagram
biggest struggle.
algorithm is hard. I don't know the Instagram algorithm at all. Even Twitter, I don't, you know what's funny? I was thinking how the other day, I really wish TikTok was around when I was 15, because I think I would have been like a mega, you know, I'm like, man, if I had that, I had to steal my mom and dad's camcorder when I was that age. It was a fight. My parents would be like, why do you need this? You don't need to, they thought I was going to break this expensive thing. So if I had TikTok, you know, I was like, man, I would have been set. And then I think about like, oh, I had Twitter when I was a teen and I'm still terrible at Twitter. I don't get it. How do you get followers, likes on Twitter?
I know somebody what were you gonna say, Mel?
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dom.
I know somebody that just started popping on Twitter. I actually just asked them that same question, and they said they were just posting 10 times a day for about a year.
The thing is, okay, so I saw somebody, and my friend Francis was telling me, they said, oh yeah, someone posted, if you post back to back on Twitter, I worry if you're okay. And it is like an energy of like, people are so judgy. And then I was like, you know what? That person's not a writer. The people who judge people who post stuff right away, it's like, yeah, you're not a writer. I'll post stuff back to back when I'm sitting at my chair, but chair, writing. Yeah, it's like I'm not such a loser that I gotta post in 2 hours apart to make it look okay. I'm not a loser. I don't have time like that. When I sit down to write, that's my writing time. Will post on Twitter.
I can't. So I was watching about the Instagram algorithm. And it was saying that what you should do is you should look at whatever's trending, find something that fits what you do, and then use regram to repost it because more people will view. And so, but the part of me that doesn't like that is that I feel that I would like for followers to follow what I'm doing because they actually enjoy either the humor or the creativity of me, not of someone else. But if it's my friend, like my friend Jose Chavez, he made this video about today. You know how we got like $600 in stimulus checks?
Oh,
yeah, I know. He made this video. Do you guys remember the movie Hook?
Yes, best movie ever. Robin
Remember
Williams.
when they're eating dinner and Peter Pan is back and they're like, oh, like cream beans and mashed potatoes, and like, oh, banana split, and there's nothing, it's just steam coming out of the bowls. He was like, this is what, this is how families are looking at that $600, and it's so funny.
It's like, keep this.
I would much rather regram my friends who are putting brilliant content out there than some random person who already has 600,000 followers and is like, who doesn't need it. I'd rather share with like whatever followers I have with people who I love, people who are smart, and people who could use it.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think artists need to collaborate a little bit more and do engagement pods. Like, I like your stuff, you like mine, because that's how the algorithm works. If you save it, share it, like it, watch it till the end on TikTok and Instagram, it boosts the algorithm. So for these smaller accounts, it's really hard to break through. But I think let's all form an engagement pod where we like text each other our videos. So Instagram takes it that we shared and, help boost it a little bit. Because it's my friends are so supportive on Instagram, but it's like rare that someone outside of my friend circle sees or likes it. Maybe I got to improve my content. I don't know.
So one thing that I know about at least the TikTok algorithm before was that the more comments, if you get more than 4 words of comments on your videos, it makes it a little bit higher to the FYP page, the For Your page. So what people are saying is like, hey, like if you want to see the next part of the video, let me know in the comments, so people are like, yeah, I do want to see the next part. So people are very smart about that. Like Dom and I have talked about this before. I would see a lot of comedians, and this isn't to put them down or anything, but I would see a lot of comedians green screen like political stuff with Donald Trump. And most of us aren't big fans of politics anyway. Like, we don't really like, most comedians are rebels, so it doesn't really matter, who's in the White House, so to speak. There's always somebody in the White House or somebody in Capitol Hill that we are just like, oh my God, like why? So, but they would splice a lot of political content and you get a lot of followers that way. But then I just kind of felt like, but that's really not authentic to what I like to create. So I don't really want to like go chasing these trends. I would rather create what I like to create and then let them catch up to me.
Yeah, I think that is what will drive your true fans too.
Yeah.
Because
I think so too.
Yeah, and also there's something to say about making evergreen content in the sense of that you can post it at any time and it'll still be relevant because it's true to you. But then there's timely stuff like monologue jokes and making fun of what, the current state of the world. And that's only good for the time being.
Weeks, because if you think about the news cycle too, there's always something new besides, of course, COVID. And the current president was right when he was like, every time you turn on the news, it's COVID. Because it's like I just, is there something? All I need to know at this point is, are places closed? Can I go to the grocery store? Like, it's like I'm already not doing. Can I curse? I won't.
Yeah.
But I'm already not doing anything. I already can't do comedy. I already can barely submit for jobs because Hollywood is so closed. I don't take my kid to most grocery stores. I'm already wearing a mask. So is there something with the few things that I can do right now? To just for the betterment of preventing anyone from getting a disease or a sickness, including myself. Is there anything new? No, there's not anything new. Then tell me about what else is going on in the world.
I'm trying to watch less of the news. I've been actually better after the election. I noticed I didn't get addicted to the news. I've always been anti-news. Like, oh yeah, it's a suppression. Like, I don't want to watch the news because the media is crafting a message that keeps people hurt. Like, it's negative. So I remember as a kid, I'd always yell at my parents, like, guys, stop. They would watch the news from 6 a.m. to after the 11 o'clock news. And as a kid and a teen, I was like, guys, they're feeding you negativity, But then I would refresh, watch it I would watch all the political debating shows, and I'm just like, this is messing my brain up.
It's so toxic.
And
it's
just
too
let
much.
it be done.
It's like it would be more interesting to me if they actually covered all the news instead of one thing for 24 hours. All right, we're gonna talk
Right.
about this can that Trump left outside on the road at 11 p.m. He littered. Now let's discuss this for 30 hours. It's like
Right.
we don't got, and every now and then we're gonna throw in how the world's ending because of pandemic. But it's like I would then you go on like some of these things like on regular news or outside of the US, and you'll be like, oh wow, there was a bomb that went off in the Bronx. That's 40 blocks from me. Maybe somebody in the US should say this. Like maybe this should be on the news somewhere in the US.
Do you remember when Michelle, oh my God, I'm terrible with names, by the way. It was
Michelle
the correspondent.
Yeah,
Yes.
Michelle Wolf. She killed it. Yeah.
Killed it.
I think she killed it harder than anybody.
The response from people were like, oh my God, how dare she say that? How dare she? Like, people were like, I mean, I saw that woman destroyed it, and she called out the news for doing what they did. They would put on CNN just a picture of a podium waiting for when Donald Trump would arrive because of the ratings. Because even if what he was saying was BS, they would then put the political pundits on to like talk about it because they understood that some people were like getting upset and you know, I'm not a fan of his at all, you know, and I understand that there were some things that were said that could be like very insensitive, like when he said that some parts of America look like third world countries, you know, and then they went to those towns and they're like, how do you feel about that? But I feel like there had to be someone that lived in maybe South Cleveland, you know, who was like, yeah, dude, it freaking sucks right now. You know, like, look, we've got condemned buildings, you know, Flint, Michigan, you know, our water's still dirty. It's national news. Nobody's coming to fix it. You got billions going to space program, you know? So when Michelle Wolf closed that, she was like, there's still not clean water in Flint, Michigan. I was like, woo! Like, she's saying what people are feeling. Right. And the news is just trying to collect advertising money.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good journalism is really important, though. But yeah, a lot of media networks have totally exploited certain things. But let me tell you, the freedom of press is so important to get the essential information. And you know, that's why unbiased news I respect, and journalists are doing the hard work to get the message out. But when it becomes biased and stuff, where you got to like sort through, dig through, it's like, how about we have something called bullet point news? The who, what, when, where, how.
Love it.
The problem and the solution. Well, that could be a different part because then that's opinion.
The solution according to like 5 people. You know, like, look, give me three suggestions that an editor of a newspaper thinks are actually possibly viable. But
I grew up an hour outside of Cleveland, actually, and I'll be honest, Trump wasn't lying. Where I grew up was a straight war zone. Like, our school was on, like, my own cousin from Columbus did a report on our school. It was like one of the most condemned schools, and like our textbooks were 30 years old, and our teacher said, listen, you have to Google the truth. We have to test you on the stuff in the books, but I want you guys to know the right answer. And we had to fill out the wrong answer because of the textbooks. I remember the teacher telling us,
oh, you got to do a joke about that.
We have to test on this. And the books were like 30 years old. Like, you know, it was Youngstown, Ohio. And people that live there will tell you, like, yo, this town is crazy. It was the old steel mill, and it shut down. And the town, like, is like a ghost town now. Abandoned buildings for miles. Like Steel City, and it's crazy, you know.
There are parts of California, because California, like, you see the pictures of the palm trees, like Amy's lived in Los Angeles, but sometimes you get gigs outside of LA, and like, you're like, oh, it's only an hour outside, and you go and you're just like, oh my God, like, this is like, these are the worker bees of the state. These are the people who are like, and you can tell like 2-3 jobs that they're hustling because everything's part-time so that they don't have to pay benefits. And they're coming for a night of comedy, and like, they're getting like just drinking beer because beer's cheap, you know, like PBRs are popular in that bar for a reason. And those are the people who really, really need a break called comedy. Like, and And you know, I just feel with $600,
Oh my gosh.
sending people $600 after 10 months of
Yep.
barely being able to get extra work.
Let's take a
Yeah.
look at, okay, so this is from Nathan Lerner. This is we did not fact checked it, so let's just say these were true, these statistics, that around the world, so Canada allegedly is giving people 2,000 per month, Australia 1,000, us we give a one-time 1,200 that may take months to arrive, and then this $600 stimulus. It just goes to show you that it's not I mean, I'm grateful for 600. I think we can do better based on the fact we've gave billions to these companies that have overpaid, bloated executives that we gave multiple chances to recover, and they still fail.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
Some
going
of
to do,
those
guys?
people, private jet. What?
Yeah, exactly. I'm buying lottery tickets. The full 600 check, I'm buying lottery ticket to increase my chance to become a millionaire.
I'm
Right.
debating on paying off some of the stuff I put on credit, like groceries.
I should do that.
Because I have a child. So, but literally, we spend about $80 to $100 a week on groceries.
Oh,
So
yeah, food is so expensive.
that $600 is going to last me maybe a month. And I think that, you know, and this is, I don't know what it's like for other people. Like I have a job, luckily, that I have been able to do virtually, and it doesn't pay a lot. So, you know, before pandemic, I was busting a hustle. Like I would take any overnight job I could take on set. My cousin would come over and spend the night with Benji. I would come home 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, take a shower, try to sleep for half an hour. Never happened.
Oh.
Get ready to go to work, you know, at my regular day-to-day job. And even though I was exhausted and there was that part of me, that part of it that like sucked being a mom and wanting to like be with your kid at night, you know, sort of thing, like there was that part of it. There was also that chance that I would get a commercial that might pay $800 a day, you know, for that day's work, to a SAG commercial, which would be even doper because you get the paychecks coming in. So the loss of the chance to make more money for my household, just like it just sucks. You're just like, you know, like because you always felt when you're submitting for roles like, okay, like maybe there's something out there that there's extra money. And then when the restaurants closed, when Hollywood shut down for the most part, when there was like no access to even stand up, it was just like I feel like they just don't get it. Like the politicians, people who are given $600, that they think that's going to shut us up after everything that they've taken. And
Right.
like, you know, and I'm not, and it defies logic to me that in the state of California, they want to open schools more and more. So you're going to send kids to school in an enclosed space, but people can't go and eat outside in a state where the median temperature is 70 degrees. Like you got
Yeah, that's crazy.
they can't eat outside. So these restaurants, these waiters, these waitresses, they can't make any sort of income, but you want kids to go inside. Like pick something, like pick a logic.
And not to mention, Florida's completely open. Like, so what's the logic in that? California's,
Right.
New York's completely closed. Florida's completely open.
Well, you know
And
what? Yeah.
people travel to our states from Florida. Like, people are here in New York right now from Florida. My friend just hit me up. It's like, yo, you can give us the shit. Yeah,
I
it's
do
like
people would just stop traveling because now we got this super bug. We got in UK the virus replicated and now it's like 70% more contagious. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't know. It's tough.
part of me is wondering, the more these Amazon coffee shops and bookstores I see, it's getting a little weird. Like there's places where my favorite places were are now coming soon. Amazon books, Amazon coffee. Yeah. It's
Amazon
like, what's that about?
coffee. I do not want cardboard boxed, like Amazon. The first association is a dirty cardboard box.
Yeah.
I don't want Amazon coffee unless if it's from like, well, but then deforestation and God, I don't know.
There's
Amazon, the shipping company.
Have you been to an Amazon store, either of y'all?
I'm not going.
No.
Oh yeah, because you gotta sign in and you're saying it's okay for somebody to record your every movement in the store. You have a personal camera on you, the one in New York. And like if I held a green pepper, it'll tell you he held a green pepper for 77 seconds and put it back. You have a camera watching you. Yeah, you guys didn't know that? Yeah, you sign in with your phone and then a camera itself is direct. And then like it'll tell you if you want something. It's convenient in certain ways.
But nah, that's a level like they're trying to read our minds. I mean, 17 seconds, they can now guess. They can now, with that knowledge of you holding that pepper, they now have access to like people who like peppers and how long you hold it, and I don't know.
I get so much. I get so many pepper things from it. Like the stuff I look at, I'll start seeing ads for it, like green peppers, like for sale, or here's a story about a green pepper. Like my phone, it'll pop up for green peppers.
I can't. I just don't get it.
All right, cool. All right, guys, in typical good afternoon fashion, we have hot, debatable topic. Okay. So here it is. What is something insignificant that you passionately hate? Melanie, since you're our guest, go first, unless if you'd like to pass it off to Dom.
I'm going to pass it off to Dom.
Okay.
One thing
I can't do it right now.
Okay, a thing I passionately, a few things, but one is this whole thing about how people would rather be more decorative than comfort. Like, I can't stand when you have a little floor mat and it's nice, but you can't open the bathroom door. It's like you got to move the floor mat to open the door. Like, and people got their houses like that, or a nice TV with a huge candle in front. That's a pretty candle. Or like the toilet seat cover. It's like, I have to be holding the seat up. You got to take a hand and hold the seat up to pee. It's like, hey, this is just ridiculous. You got this toilet seat cover that it's impossible to hold your seat up. I think things like that are actually ridiculous. I go through that a lot in some of these. I don't know. But that's just ridiculous to me. Like, why?
Right. So if someone they have decoration that you can't use.
Yeah, it makes your life harder.
Yeah.
You did have to move the floor mat to close the bathroom door at my friend's house. You can't. He's like, well, look at the floor mat, though. I mean, it's worth it. And I'm like, dude, what, you got to move your floor mat every time to close your bathroom door?
But then again, it's a New York apartment. Things are so small, you know?
I mean, that's more reason to have comfort, honestly. I feel like if you're in Ohio, it's like, what else are you doing? Staring at some squirrels? You can kick the floor mat. But if you're in New York, you're like, yo, I got to pee. I got to brush my teeth. I got to go.
Funny. It moves so quick there.
Yeah. I can't move no damn floor mat.
Something I passionately hate that's trivial. I do not like it's trivial.
Long eyelashes. When people go too long, it's like, what's the point? Is that trivial?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the meaning of trivial is, but that shit is just weird to me.
I think just like make it a little more natural. Like I like wearing fake eyelashes for Halloween or stuff, but there's.
Oh, you have them on right now, Mel?
Yeah, but do they look?
Yours look normal.
Those
no, I've seen some like this.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
Do
doing?
you know how expensive those are?
If they're mink, very.
They range from session like $80 to $150 per session. And to keep them up, you have to get them, I believe, like every 2 weeks. So when I know exactly what you're talking about. There are times when it's like, lady, you look like you have a squirrel's tail on your eyes.
Yeah.
You know, I know what you're talking about, but it's just like, and I got them before in the past, and as a mom with like a little kid, you do feel like you don't have to wear any makeup, which is like a bonus if you're always in a hurry. But I also noticed that if I went in and I was like, I want them to look not so pronounced. There were times when like I felt like they came up to my eyebrows, and I was like, did you run out of the short ones or something? And you're just like, I got it. Like I feel like sometimes like when people cut your hair and like or just do anything aesthetically to you, and they're just like, I understand, but it's like, no, you don't understand, because like I said lights, like is this
Right.
from like what's this is small and this is big, like are we?
Yeah, and some of them are like that.
It's hard to wear eyeglasses too. One time I put on fake eyelashes, and every time I blinked, they rubbed against my eyeglasses. It was like I had a windshield wiper. They were windshield wipers for my glasses.
Yeah, I'm talking about the big ones, like the
I know what
20
you're
inch.
talking about.
I was on the train. This girl had her shit. It's like I had to tilt my head. It's like, what are you doing? Like
They were
swear to
hitting me
God,
as you.
it's just 3 inches long. It's like, what do you? Come on.
I mean, that can't be healthy for your eye. But then again, eyelashes are made to protect dust and stuff.
Just trying to protect COVID.
I wonder
Right.
when
Maybe
you girls
that's
take
the-
them off.
Push out the particles.
No, maybe
when-
that's the secret to prevent COVID is get really long eyelashes.
When you guys take them off, are you blinking real quick? Like your just eyelids are stronger?
Oh, it feels so much better. Yeah, it's almost like your eyelids are lifting weights with those things. Like,
Here's the thing too that kind of sucks, and I think like I've talked to Mom about it before. Like there's makeup for camera, which is what I'm wearing right now, which is like a little bit darker because high def will drown out like your eyebrows. It'll drown out your natural eyelashes. Even if you pack them with mascara, you will look like you don't have any. It's just something. So that's why like a lot of the makeup comes in. But then there are some people who wear the camera makeup like in everyday life.
right.
There's part of it wants to be like, what you're putting, your skin is not breathing right now. Like I don't understand. Like you should be wearing more sunscreen or like you can tell like you're like just let your skin be. If you have nice natural skin and to contour, there are YouTube stars who made videos just on contouring. What it is you put like light makeup here, light makeup here, light makeup here.
Oh yeah.
It mimics the shine of when like Hollywood lights are on you, but you're out in the day with all of this contour and like the size of your nose is dark because you want to create this bridge and it's shiny because it's glittery.
Yeah.
It's just beyond what's needed to go and get a quick cup of coffee or a panini from the grill.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I
I
did.
can imagine in LA how, I'm sure everybody is like got the contour stuff.
I did a shoot once and they had to make up me for it, and I was like, didn't wash it off because I was like, oh, I'm gonna use it to record some of my videos, but it was like too noticeable on my camera, so I couldn't put the stories out. But in real life, yeah, it was mad noticeable. I hate when I'm dating somebody and they really cake it on. It's like, okay, I can't wear a white shirt around you ever again.
Right. Then
As
if
long
you
as we're
hug
dating.
them, it all
Hey,
goes
yeah,
on the
give me a
t-shirt.
hug. Yeah, it gets everywhere. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Your pillows.
So now
Personally, I don't care about makeup. A couple pimples on the cheek and stuff is cool to me. I would rather that than some caked on makeup. Like, let me see the red blotches. It's better to me to see some red blotches than to see my $100 polo shirt ruined. Okay,
Right.
I'll throw that away because you're insecure.
Okay, so I guess we figured out something I really don't like that's trivial. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with other people's choices, which is even worse. Now I feel very petty, but I guess like it's the misunderstanding of stage makeup versus dating makeup. It's just like, and again, it has nothing to do with me. It's like it's her choice if she wants to wear all that makeup. But I just wish that somebody would whisper in her ear, like, that's for ring lights.
Now, is it wrong? Is it wrong
Right.
to tell somebody like, hey, listen, I just want to let you know your makeup, you did that more
Oh.
for like.
No one should ever tell anybody unless they're their family member or their friend about their makeup.
Yeah, you can't go up to a
Or-
stranger, of course.
No.
Yeah.
You
Hey, I
are-
just wanted to let you know that looks like shit. Have a good day. I'll see you later.
Or if you are, sometimes like a stranger will say something and they're like you can tell that it's coming from the heart, So I think that if one time somebody had told me something like, hey, like you're beautiful. I think I told Dawn this. But what she was like, you're beautiful the way you are. She said,
That
what?
was random, like a random lady's telling you this?
Well, she was a photographer and we were at a party. And I knew her because I had worked with her on set for something. And she told me, whatever you do, don't mess with your lips. Don't inject your lips. Like she said, a lot of like that will aid you. As you like go on in your career, don't touch your lips.
That's smart advice. It's tempting.
Right. And she didn't have to, she didn't have to say anything like that to me. But I knew that it was coming from a place of love and care. Do you know what I mean? Like just like so I think that you can say something to somebody, like that, but not like what I want to say is just like, hey, like tone it down on the makeup because you don't need it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't need nobody needs all of that during the daytime. That is specialized YouTube video makeup things for lighting, not daytime. And those girls who are gorgeous and they're like doing it right, there are maybe like 6 different types of products just for the foundation and the contouring and all that alone. And why would you make an investment on that unless you have to be a makeup artist applying that to everybody, or unless you have to do things like a daily podcast where you're on film? You should not need to invest all of that money into like makeup that is not necessary.
It probably comes out of insecurity,
Oh, well, all of us think about coming up with Instagram and TikTok and everything. Like everybody's, your face is in the camera a lot. But if you're filming outside, don't cake that on. It's not going to matter. Outdoor lighting does amazing wonders for the skin. So there are times when I'm just like, girl, you don't need this. Like you're working as a cashier indoors, and that's a lot of stuff on your face. Like it's not looking good. And I'm not, and that's something again like that I shouldn't say. And of course, like I know feminists or some people are going to come at me like, oh, like you should be empowering women. I'm trying to empower you. Don't spend your money on that bullshit. I'm trying to empower you. Okay, I am. Like you're beautiful the way you are. Like stop coming into like falling into what the makeup companies want you to do, which is buy from them. Put it in.
When I worked at Johnny Rockets, I would throw on a red lip and do my hair nice just because I needed a little sparkle. I needed some pizzazz to get me through. So I think if it makes you feel good, but also try to be comfortable without it. You're blessed, Melanie, with beautiful eyebrows and eyelashes. Like as someone who's blonde, if I don't put on eyebrow pencil, I have peach fuzz. I don't have an arch. So my face is like a canvas without painted. And then when I fill it in, I'm like, oh, cool. Like there's my arch. There's my frame. So it's like as a blonde person, I am envious of those people that don't have to put on the eyeshadow and stuff, because when I take off my stuff, it's just like the arch goes away. It's like blonde fuzz.
But see, the thing is, all of us are like that. But these eyebrows right here are filled in because I have lights on me.
Right.
I actually filled these eyebrows in darker than I would normally fill in, during a day visit I don't go anywhere because of COVID, but let's pretend I was doing a run to Target. I would fill them in a little bit, but not like this. This is severe fill in because these lights will make them disappear. So
mine are severe.
I wish I had Italian eyebrows, but I was reading an article. People are more pressured to feel Instagram and TikTok ready at all moments. I forget where I read it, but it's true. It's like our usage of technology has shifted our daily lifestyle, because at any moment people want to be able to take an Instagram and post it and stuff.
It feels good to look good. Like going back to the unsolicited advice, like, is it okay to tell a girl, hey, that's too much makeup? I had somebody give me unsolicited advice and it helped me. I used to always wear long coats And this guy was just like, he's like, excuse me, baby. You know, he's like, you know, you look good, but he's like, your coat is too long. Trust me, sweet. You gotta get you a short coat because you're shorter. But so I got a short coat and I look so much better. I'm telling you, I see it night and day.
That's
now
also
I see people with short jackets. Yeah, I see people with long coats that are short. And I'm like, dude, you like, you know, don't look good.
Some dudes look like Donald Duck, like the way it makes your butt with the thing. Yeah.
But that goes to somebody telling you from a place of love.
Yeah, it goes back to the place of love.
Right?
To tear you down. He was coming from a place of being like, hey, like, look, you look good. You have everything going for you. But if you get, you know, like, and not to say the but, you know, but still, you know, like everything, like you got it, like your shoes are on point, like everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a coat that will look good on you, though. I'm sure.
I got a short coat. I get compliments like crap. I'm telling you, it's 100% different.
It looks more tailored.
Even my friends were like, damn, that's way better than your last coat. Like, straight up people that I knew were like, you know, that's the coat you need.
I got that.
Go ahead.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Okay, so you're a redhead, blondish, but what's your natural hair color?
This right here.
Okay.
It's like a dishwater blonde.
I used to work in retail, and redheads look, okay, don't cancel me, okay, for saying this.
No cancel here.
Everybody, because I feel like so paranoid, like I'm just one joke away from getting canceled before I even have the shot. But okay, every skin tone has colors that they look good in, right?
Yeah.
Jewel tones on redheads are remarkable. Like the way they bring out the lower layer of glow. So like an emerald green on a redhead, a nice blue, nice ruby, a nice deep blue. Like so. Yes. I used to work in retail, and there were things like I would never put on a redhead. Like some colors because it's just like you just never do. And it wasn't because they look bad, but it was because you know how much better, how much potential like they have to show off the beautiful coloring of their hair and their skin and other colors. Yes. So sometimes it's not that you're just like, this looks bad on you. It's like this could be like, you could glow and shine so much more if I put you in this versus this.
Yeah, I'm gonna shop more jewel tones. I do, like, I personally love pastels, but when I wear certain pastels, it washes me out a bit.
Yeah, the term is like called washing you out, but I think that a lot of it is just it's just the way the cones in our eyes, the colors. Like it's why flowers are so brilliant against the sky in green. You know, you have the pink against the green or whatever color. It's the brilliance that comes of it. And the same applies to when people wear clothes. You know, we could all like just be monotone or one color, or we can shine. And I don't know if you've ever like looked at the leaf of a plant, but sometimes you just think that they're just green, and then you look and you see that there are pink undertones in the leaf, and it's the same for humans or any other part of nature. So true. So again, like it is whoever's choice to wear whatever makeup choice they want to do, and I respect that. But there is that part of me knowing from having people professionally do my makeup for set, knowing that there are ways that it's done for set versus every day, and it's just wasteful of money and cents to go into an indoor job and have this much makeup when you don't need it.
All right, guys, we're gonna do one more gape-tv. Good afternoon, planet Earth. Lightning round topic. Here we go. Okay, Melanie, as the guest, you have the power to either pass it off to Dominic or me, or answer the question. I'm going to set the timer as you start speaking for 1 minute. When that is done, we have to wrap it up and move on to the next person. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So, Melanie, what's fine as a kid but terrifying as an adult?
A goat.
A goat? Like a bah.
Goats are adorable. Goats and sheep are adorable as little ones. They're just adorable. And then as adults, like they lose their cuteness.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't want to run into a goat. I would be afraid that it would like run into me, even though I
I
know
want to hug a goat. They're just so
yeah,
cute.
they're so cute. Oh my God, they're so cute. They're little, but when they're big, they just kind of look like they might not like you.
Oh man.
Goat in the eye, like they just kind of seem.
Yeah, they
like,
do have some weird glaze, like.
yeah. A goat. So I would definitely say a goat.
All right.
Oh, weird, isn't it? Like it's an animal. I'm sorry, animal lovers, but.
Man, you answered that and had 15 seconds left. Awesome. All right. Starting the timer over. Dominic, what's fine as a kid but terrifying as an adult?
I would say going to the amusement park, like all around, going to the amusement park. When I went as a kid, everything seemed so much easier, standing in line. Even the roller coasters were fun. Now it's like, I do not want to go on a roller coaster. Like that's the last thing I want to do, a Ferris wheel, a roller coaster. You're standing in line. I closed my eyes on them. I don't know why. I loved them when I was a kid. Now I'm just like, I can't even do it. My stomach, my neck, I'm walking funny the next day.
I know. I went on the ride with my nieces and I thought I was going to vomit. It was the teacups. I used to love those. I would spin and spin and now I want to vomit after.
Yeah, you got to walk around with no shirt on, right? Think about that. As a kid, you don't care.
Try to do a cartwheel now.
Yeah.
Like it's so, you're like.
And now we have phones we got to bring with the amusement park with us. That's a fear in itself.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
responsible for $1,000 electronic now.
So true.
All right. I'll reset mine. What's fine as a kid but terrifying as an adult? I would say going to the doctors. When I was a kid, I would be like, cool, whatever. It's standard. Go to the doctors. But then after my appendix exploded and I almost died from sepsis, I'm so worried with the heart thing. You know that thing they clip on your thing and they do the because now after that I have like PTSD because when I had that thing on my thing, it symbolized that with my urine sample that there was something really wrong. My heart rate was crazy high. And so now I go to the doctor and it goes crazy high because it triggers back when I had to go to the hospital for 2 months from sepsis. It was like the scariest thing. That's when I realized I'm not as depressed as I think because I wanted to live. I was like, shit sucked, but I was like, I really want to. I didn't realize how much I had left to finish in life.
I love it.
Cool.
So, nothing almost died, but just like how much you wanted to live.
Yeah, I really didn't know that until after that happened and all this stuff flashed before my eyes that I didn't finish. But all right, well, Melanie, thank you so much.
Love you. Oh,
all right, you guys.
I want to hug you, but you're not here, so here's a big hug.
After this COVID, Dom and I, we've got to go to LA and hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
Bed into bunk beds again, but I have a big long couch. Yeah, come stay with me.
Love you guys. Everybody got New Year's Eve plans?
Hanging with Benji. What's up? You want to have a dance party, Amy? Benji can dance. We'll do it.
I
don't have any plans.
Well, hey, if you want to do a good afternoon karaoke thing.
Maybe. Should I go to Times Square? They're lifting the ball,
No.
so it's going to drop.
Hell no. I went to Times Square 2 years ago. I was a background extra for a TV promo. So we were able to wait in a trailer and cut the lines while everybody was in diapers and stuff. It was pouring rain. It wasn't worth it. You see the ball drop. It's like,
lying.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Sorry, I think my phone's going to die. I got to run too. I got another call coming in. Y'all be
All right,
great.
cool.
Later.
Bye.
That's it for the show, folks. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, follow, and leave a good review if you can. We will be grateful for that. Follow us on Instagram at gape-tv. Good afternoon, planet Earth.